This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the morning of Tuesday, November 5th, 2024. I'm Alex Brown. Mark Music, owner and CEO of Ruoff Mortgage and majority owner of the Fort Wayne Football Club, announced plans Monday for a 7,500-seat stadium on the city's west side that would be the club's new home, beginning in 2026. The team's chief operations officer, Scott Sproat, said the announcement brings excitement for the club.
As somebody who's been attached to the soccer community for years, just not as closely as I obviously am now, this is a game changer across the board. And this is not the end of our big announcements. We've got a lot more coming. But this was the first piece.
The stadium will be able to fit nearly 9,300 spectators for soccer, including standing room only capacity. It will also be able to fit more than 10,000 people for concerts and other events. A timeline for groundbreaking was not provided. Major General Dale Lyles will retire from his role leading the Indiana National Guard in January, Governor Eric Holcomb's office announced Monday. That's also when the state's next governor is scheduled to take office, as Holcomb is term limited. Lyles has led the Guard since being appointed by Holcomb in 2019. Indianapolis-based accounting firm Katz, Sapper & Miller has acquired New York City-based Shanhold, Glassman, Klein, Kramer & Company, significantly expanding KSM's existing presence in that market. The acquisition adds another 59 employees and 6 partners to KSM's roster. Financial terms were not disclosed. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to the Engage Indiana series, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. With an unrelenting focus on growing Indiana's economy, we'll dive into each region's unique challenges and distinct opportunities for growth. 9 regions, 1 goal. Indiana's bold future starts here. Discover more and register at ibj.com/engage.
The U.S. District Court in Indianapolis dismissed a lawsuit against Indiana University Health after the health network terminated a doctor's medical privileges at IU Health Bloomington Hospital.
The lawsuit was dismissed after the two parties reached a settlement October 2nd, ending the litigation. The original complaint, filed by the independent vascular surgeon Ricardo Vasquez in June of 2021, stated that IU Health purposefully intended to eliminate him as a competitor in the vascular surgery field, denying him referrals, breaching hospital bylaws, and making defamatory statements against him. The accusation stems from an investigation into Vasquez by the Bloomington Hospital's medical staff, which ended in Vasquez's medical privileges being terminated. An independent review panel and the hospital's board of directors upheld that termination. The Indiana Southern District Court affirmed that Vasquez's claims against the hospital did not constitute a legitimate antitrust case, stating his allegations of breach of contract and defamation were also without merit. The court said Vasquez was dissatisfied with competing against the health network. As part of the settlement, Vasquez paid IU Health a little over $175,000. IU Health, however, will not pay anything to Vasquez. In a press release from IU Health, Vasquez admitted to his past behavior at the hospital, saying he was, quote, occasionally irritable or intemperate with some of IU Health's nurses and IT technicians. An attorney for Vasquez did not immediately respond to the Indiana lawyer's request for comment. I'm Mark Mazurek with Inside Indiana Business Radio.
A stalwart of the Northeast Indiana Innovation Center, Mike Fritsch, will step down as CEO of the Fort Wayne-based business incubator at the end of the year. Fritsch made his name as president of Logicos in the 1980s and 90s before joining the NIC in 2012. The NIC board credited Fritsch with expanding business training and support services to different communities, including Black, Hispanic, and rural business owners. The NIC said it will give updates on its transition plan in the coming months. Community Health Network Chief Transformation Officer Patrick McGill is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.